Alright guys, welcome aboard. We're going to be doing a first test flight here in the 737-900 Ultimate. Let's take a look outside here. There it is. Apparently this is a collaboration between, I guess, the developers of the actual aircraft and Zibo, and of the Zibo 737, and then also the guy that does the RG mod interior cockpit coloration thing, and also the sound guy. I forgot what it was. Audio Bird. Plane looks real nice. If you looked at some of the other guys that have already been streaming it, it's been out for like a week or two or something like that. So I've been away for a little bit, so I kind of missed out on it, at least the first public release. And this is still in beta, so thought I would jump in it. I loaded it up, give it a try here. So I loaded it up, and I did a quick, just kind of set up my views, and then fired up the engines, made sure everything was working okay. And just did a takeoff, and that's it. One thing I did notice, at least on that first flight, we'll see if it happens this time, the sound, as soon as I took off, the sound the engine sound just went from really high to really low. So I'm not sure what that's about, but we'll take a look around here and do a quick test flight. You can see it's got the RG mod, dark interior coloring. Looks real nice. Pretty much the 900 here is almost identical to the 800. I'm sure there's a few things. The first thing that sticks out is it doesn't have the retractable lights. I guess this model has the LED lights, so it's only got 2 landing lights here. Let's see, does that make a sound? Yeah, it does. So I've got my sound turned up a certain way. Hopefully it's not too loud. We got our coffee here, and that looks like it's gonna spill. And let's see, what do we got? This nice menu here. Look at this, high speed. We got our checklist. Very nice. Weight and balance, weather. I'm not sure all of these are working yet. Some of them they said I think were not, so I'm not going to really play around with everything in the menu here. We're here to test out the plane in flight here and see how the systems are actually working. And again, this is literally like my first time that I'm going to be doing a flight here, other than just starting the thing up and making sure that my views are all set up. So we're starting out in Phoenix at the Air National Guard ramp, just so we don't have to deal with a whole bunch of pushback and all that kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and get our ground power on. And let's see here. Come up here. Get our battery on. Get our powers on. Exit lighting on. Cabin utility stuff on. And as always, I like to have my panel. Look at it. That's RG stuff. Nice, just like the 800 there. And what do I want to do? I'm going to start up my APU. Let's put a fuel pump on. See if I can get my APU starting. There it is. Put our beacon on. Put our nav lights on. I think you can hear the APU starting up. Alright, let's come back up here. We'll go to actually, before I align my my IRSs, let's take a look in here. I'm going to adjust my view a little bit. Let's go to menu. Actually, let's get that's not what I wanted. My panel lights up. I'm going to check the sound settings and just a couple things in here. So if I stop clicking on the wrong thing there, let's go in here. There's announcements and stuff. Just get rid of that. Fuel announcement, forward turn, audio config, other config. Okay, I wanted to make sure my alignment was set to short. I went in there and I did that like the last time I jumped in here. What else we got? Hide yoke, we're just going to leave that. Chocks off. Pause at, that's off, yeah, top of descent. Toe brake axis, I'm going to leave that. Toe brake axis, I'm going to leave that as is right now. Cold and dark, yep. Parking brake moves chocks on. Throttle noise lock off. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, I guess the throttle noise lock. I don't know, we'll leave that as is. Fuel gauge, side by side. Nose wheel axis, we're going to leave that just the way it is. I'm going to change a whole bunch of things in here. Flight plan, save, format, whatever, track up, yep. All this good stuff. Windshield effects are on. Not going to touch any of those. Let's go to audio config here. I just want to make sure that we got features. Passenger boarding, yes. Passenger that. Airport, we'll leave that on. Basic regional. Oh, airport set. Okay. Mute trim wheel is off. Analog gyro off. Mute FMC is off. Passenger applause off. Okay. We'll leave those. Let's take a look at our volumes here. Passenger volumes are all defaulted at 5 here. Looks like PM volume, airport volume, gyro volume, engine volume, AC volume, wind, roll impact volume. Okay, bump volume. We'll just leave them all at default and see what that is. We'll probably adjust those. I know I've adjusted them in my other airplanes, but just wanted to take a look at that and see what we got. EQ, we got an equalizer here. Add lows, nice. All right, let's go back here and I didn't change anything, so we won't save it. We'll go back in here and let's get our position set up here. So let me zoom back up here. We got APU power now, so let's switch over to APU power. We'll get our IRSs aligning. There's one, there's the other. Got them set for short, so they should come on pretty much almost as soon as I get our GPS position set in here. Not going to bother with that literally. We're just going to be doing a test flight here. Grab our GPS, drop that in there, and that's as far as we're going to go. We'll just wait for that to align. Get our yoke back on. Let's turn up those lights. Brightness, turn those up. It's a little different here, I think, from the other one. I had more of a red in here in these windows. And then we had sort of a blue here. So the coloring is just slightly different here, or maybe that's just... you had a little bluish sort of tinge to things, but hey, whatever. I'm not complaining. Plane looks great. Alright, let's get her started up here. So we are on APU power. Let's go down the line here. Now dampener's on. Everything on there is going to be defaulted. Let's take a look at our fuel. Yeah, we got fuel in all the tanks. So let's turn every fuel pump on. And come up here, all that is set, all that is set. We'll put our smoking sign on, seatbelt sign on. heat on. Pitot heat on. Anti-ice we're not going to touch. We'll put our electrical hydraulics on. You can hear that starting to do its thing. And we'll put our APU bleed on over here. Not going to go very high. We're just going to do a pattern around here. So we're just not even going to bother with pressurization there. Put our trim air on, and I think we're all set for up here for right now. And let's see, I think they moved the transponder here, so let's just put our transponder on while we're down here. And we're ready to get fired up. So go to engine 1 start, which I should turn these off first. Or, sorry, turn the packs left or right off. Engine is spooling up. I know this is pretty loud, so like I said, I'll turn it down after I get the engine started. Started up. And it's very loud in there. That volume down just to a respectable level there. Alright, let's get set up here. And we'll go to engine power. Packs back on. We got APU bleed off. We can turn our APU power off now. And let's take a quick look up here, make sure we ain't got any lights, haven't missed anything. I don't think so. Alright, let's go ahead and taxi out, and we'll just do a departure. I'm not sure what the winds are, but pretty sure they're light. Let's see. So we can see a windsock over here. Of course, can't see a windsock. All right. Tell you what, let's go outside and make sure we take a look at a windsock. Just so at least we go downwind, so we don't mess with the first flight here. There's a windsock over here somewhere. Where is my windsock? And there we go. Okay, so we're gonna have a crosswind. We'll go to the right side. We'll take off heading to the west. All right, I think we're ready to taxi. We'll put our taxi lights on. Don't need our turn off. Oh, we'll put those on too. What the hell? All right. let's get taxiing. So parking brake off. Immediately starts rolling. Haven't even increased the engine power yet. We'll go to 5 on the flaps. Bring up some power. She wants to go fast. Let's take a look at our flaps. Have they been decreased? I can't tell. It's bringing them up one. Yeah, they are going down. Yeah. Yeah, definitely wants to, she wants to roll, man. I've got it at idle, and we're coasting here. We'll check our speed brakes. That looks good. Alright, let's get ready for takeoff here. We'll hit our strobes on. Hit our wing lights.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
We're going to stop right here just for a moment. Go ahead and put my parking brake on. We're going to double check a couple of things here before takeoff. 4,000, just in case we need it. Indicated airspeed hold. I don't think we're going to have auto throttle because I haven't set the temperatures and stuff. So we'll just disable it. Won't bother with that, or the FMC or anything. Now this is a little bit different. Nose gear, left gear. Okay. Those lights are different. Why does it say up? That's interesting. It should be down. There we go. Hey, that's the way it started. So, auto braking looking good. All right, we just set our trim tab. It should be right around 5. Yeah, that's good. Very responsive. A little bit more than the Zeebo default. All right, we'll go landing lights on. I got a key for that. And we'll let the cabin crew know we're going to be going. Get my view squared up. Main parking brake off. So like I said, we'll do a pattern here at Phoenix. See how the plane feels. Alright, co-pilot is ready to go behind me. It's my dog in the background, sorry.
Approaching 25 left.
Yeah, this thing definitely wants to, once you get it going, taxiing, it wants to go. Pretty much just put it at idle. So I don't overcorrect here.
5 left.
Alright, I think we're ready to go. Let's power up to about 65, 70-ish, whatever. See how loud that is? Alright, let's go to takeoff power here. Got a little bit of a crosswind here. That was kind of a heavy takeoff there. And you can see the sound went down too as soon as we got off the ground. So let me go ahead and retrim here. I think it's a little windy out here in Phoenix, so we're bouncing around a little bit. Alright, let's go gear up.
1,000.
I actually pulled the stick all the way back and it was still going down the range. I don't know if I was looking at the airspeed, so it looked good. I think I was rotating at the right spot. Co-pilot does not like this turbulence, apparently. You know what, I noticed some water over here. Let me go ahead and make sure I've got my water reflections on. There we go. Alright, we'll start powering back, and we'll bring the flaps all the way up. Put our gear to off. Try to stay right around 220, you know, under 250. And I just kind of played around with my views here just to get them set up. I'm not a big fan of the interior view with the window and whatnot. I might play around with that a little bit. Alright, powering back a little bit more here. Flaps are all the way up. Let's go ahead and make our turn here. Powering back again. Try to stay under 250 here. I've literally got the throttle like way back here. So far, it's responsive. I saw a couple people saying it seemed a little bit heavier than the you know, flying the default or, you know, the Zibo. It actually seems pretty responsive to me. I mean, I guess I kind of see what they're saying. I'd have to fly the other one and right after and kind of see how it feels. Alright, let's come down here. What do we have? Are we missing buttons here? How do we do this? Is this different now? Let me get rid of the yoke for a second. So, I thought we had buttons. Where are our buttons so we could put different stuff up here? Oh, no. Forget it. I'm an idiot. Never mind. Put our weather radar on. Stations. Where are we zoomed out? Let's zoom out a bit. Get our airports on. Data position. We don't have to do any of that. Terrain. I'm not sure if this thing has terrain. I don't think so yet. Alright, so we are flying over to north of Phoenix here. We're over, what is this? Looks like heading out towards, is that Sun City? There, we'll make a turn. We're kind of doing a big circuit here is what we're doing. So, just to test things out. And again, that sound kind of seemed to have dropped down, so I'm actually turning up the volume on the sim. So that's a little quirk there. At least I don't know if that's a setting or what, where the engine sounds just as soon as I got off the ground kind of died out. Yeah, we'll come around this way, head for Scottsdale. Again, we'll do a big long circuit here. Big pattern. And then land back at Phoenix. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna climb up. I'm gonna climb up over here. Get a little bit more altitude. We'll stay under 10,000. We'll do a stall. See how it handles. We'll get up to about 8,000 and then we'll try a stall. And we'll do a power off stall. So I'm gonna go ahead. We won't drop the gear. Well, actually we will. We'll do a proper power off stall. So and there's 7,000. I think that's enough. So I'm gonna throttle all the way back, put the gear down, go full flaps. Power up here just to maintain our altitude. Wait for the flaps to come all the way down. Now it's pitching up. It's bringing power up here. Wait for the flaps to go all the way down. Gears down, flaps are down. We're going to go ahead and just bring the power all the way back, maintain altitude. So I'm pulling back on this stick, just trying to maintain my altitude here. Let the airspeed bleed off. All right, stick is full back. I'm starting to trim back now. Mushy stall. Alright, let's go full power. Drop the nose a tad. Bring gear up and start getting our flaps up. Re-trimming. Off. Head over so you can see that. Alright, so that felt pretty decent. Pretty good stall. Definitely started shaking and had sort of a little mushy drop. Alright, let's get back down and we'll do a landing here and then take a look online. Or at least I will afterwards. See about that engine sounds coming off at takeoff. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, good. For descent coming down here, I'm going to go ahead and bring in some flaps. Start getting a slow down. Put some spoilers up. Turn here. Go to 5 on the flaps. Ourselves slowed down here a little bit. And it definitely doesn't want to slow down if I put my gear down. Maybe I just put it to off. There we go. There's that drag. Now we're starting to slow down. To 10 on the flaps. Still got our spoilers tried to do an extended downwind to base here, just to let us get down. All right, there's our speed. All right, spoilers down. Bring a little power up. Let's try to maintain about 160-ish. It is a little gusty here today. You can see this airspeed kind of bouncing up and down a tad. Alright, let's get lined up for one of the runways. Go to full flaps. Just double checking, making sure our spoilers are down. Alright, we'll arm our spoilers for landing. And it looks like we're kind of lined up on the somewhat longer right runway there, so we'll take that one. We do have a crosswind again here. And even with the kind of gusty winds here, you can see they're kind of changing around here, bouncing around, plus or minus like within a 5 degree or 5 knot range right there. But the plane feels nice. Feels a little wobbly. I mean, we're kind of slow. We're at 148 or something, but we're trimmed up for landing. It feels a little heavier than the Zemo, which being that it's a little bit bigger, I would assume it would be. Still a little bit high. It wants to float. Just any kind of engine power here. Engines are very efficient, even idling. They make the plane taxi. It starts rolling as soon as you get the parking brake off. Bringing the power back quite a bit here. Almost idle. Alright, we are at idle right now. Kinda got a little bit of a crab in here for that wind. We are doing a little bit of a fast descent here, faster than I normally would.
1,000 feet
We
stabilizing
can trim it up a little bit here. And the trim is very touchy. I'm going to have to adjust that a little bit. Like we saw on the ground there, it's a little tap of my hat switch, which I use for my trim, is definitely spinning it quite a bit.
Approaching 25 right.
Trying to get it slowed down here to about 140. See how it handles a little bit of power here. I guess I should have done this with just nice calm day, but this is a good first test. Even though we got a little wind to contend with here, so that's good. getting a little bit more of a crosswind here.
50,
We do have a little bit of power in.
30, 20,
Start backing it off.
10.
Okay, power to idle. Hard landed. The nose just wants to keep sitting up there. Alright, that definitely floated after that. Let's go. Engines reverse. Stay off the brakes. Yes, I gotta turn that down. Yeah, you can see, I'm not sure why that sound, as soon as we touch down, the sound just goes really, really loud. Alright, let's go flaps up, spoilers down.
And we look forward to welcoming you again on another flight.
You know, I never set our auto braking. Alright, let's go landing light off. So that was nice. That was a good first flight in the 737-900 Ultimate here. I'm sure we'll see plenty of updates to it, any kind of quirks that we all find. They promise they will be working on all those little things and getting it up to super, super ultimate.
Approaching 07 right.
Anyway, I'll just cross this runway here. We'll do a quick replay on the landing. That definitely wanted to float. So like I pulled the power back and I actually couldn't hear the call outs for the distance, you know, the altitude. So I thought I heard 10. I pulled the power back. We were pretty slow, but started flaring there, kind of touched down pretty hard. So, and then really just floated quite a bit. So just new airplane, got to get used to it probably. You know, every plane flies a little different, and I'm sure, you know, they tweak the flight model here. All right, let's go ahead and stop right here. Get our parking brake on. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to shut down the engine just for the heck of it. Just to see how they sound. That's not what I'm grabbing. Turn the volume up so you can hear the engines dying down. Alright, let's go to replay mode. Jump out here. See where we're at here. Yeah, that's good enough. Just a quick one here. Maybe a little bit farther back. Right there. And do we not have, I don't think we have any sound. Yeah, no sound on the replay. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and look forward to doing some more flights in this Ultimate 737-900. Till next time, take care. Alright guys, welcome aboard. We're going to be doing a first test flight here in the 737-900 Ultimate. Let's take a look outside here. There it is. Apparently this is a collaboration between, I guess, the developers of the actual aircraft and Zibo, and of the Zibo 737, and then also the guy that does the RG mod, interior cockpit coloration thing, and also the sound guy. I forgot what it was. Audio Bird. Plane looks real nice. If you looked at some of the other guys that have already been streaming it, it's been out for like a week or two or something like that. So I've been away for a little bit, so I kind of missed out on it, at least the first public release. And this is still in beta, so thought I would jump in it. I loaded it up, give it a try here. So I loaded it up, and I did a quick, just kind of set up my views, and then fired up the engines, made sure everything was working okay. And just did a takeoff, and that's it. One thing I did notice, at least on that first flight, we'll see if it happens this time, the sound, as soon as I took off, the sound the engine sound just went from really high to really low. So I'm not sure what that's about, but we'll take a look around here and do a quick test flight. You can see it's got the RG mod, dark interior coloring. Looks real nice. Pretty much the 900 here is almost identical to the 800. I'm sure there's a few things that the first thing that sticks out is it doesn't have the retractable lights. I guess this model has the LED lights, so it's only got 2 landing lights here. Let's see, does that make a sound? Yeah, it does. So I've got my sound turned up a certain way. Hopefully it's not too loud. We got our coffee here, and that looks like it's gonna spill. And let's see, what do we got? This nice menu here. Look at this, high speed. We got our checklist. Very nice. Weight and balance, weather. I'm not sure all of these are working yet. Some of them they said I think were not, so I'm not going to really play around with everything in the menu here. We're here to test out the plane in flight here and see how the systems are actually working. And again, this is literally like my first time that I'm going to be doing a flight here, other than just starting the thing up and making sure that my views are all set up. So we're starting out in Phoenix at the Air National Guard ramp, just so we don't have to deal with a whole bunch of pushback and all that kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and get our ground power on. And let's see here. Come up here. Get our battery on. Get our powers on. Exit lighting on. Cabin utility stuff on. And as always, I like to have my panel. Look at it. That's RG stuff. Nice, just like the 800 there. And